Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. So this is a kit in 1/35 scale and might be interesting for modelers who would like to build a diorama with a US World War II track. So here we get the gasoline tank, and it's based on the Studebaker US6-U5. As you can see, it's written here, and the kit number is 35492. So what we have here on the table is actually the final shape of this release, and you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So for me, it is interesting to check what is let's say changed in this particular version, and of course I will open the box and show all of the parts. But first of all, I have to know that the box size is typical for such release from ICM. So here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art here, and then on the side you can see also some information about the kit, about the truck, and also I can say it out loud here that we have two marking options, and we have 253 parts which should assemble into the truck, which you saw on the box art. On the opposite side you can see two marking options. So these are somewhat simple, well, just the typical green truck option marking. But of course you can find something different, or you can add some variety with help of weathering, but we will talk more about this when we will be checking the marking guide, which is usually published in the assembly manual. In the meantime, I can also remind you that I reviewed the previous versions as well, so in case you are interested, you can find them on the same YouTube channel which you are watching at the moment. And as for the whole channel, I can also remind you that you can support me with donations, and it's easy to do via website. There is a big red button, or you can do it via YouTube, because YouTube has the special subscribe and add to the membership options. So as you saw, the box structure is typical for ICM, and if I open this box, here is what we have inside. So all parts are covered with this assembly manual. There will be probably the decals in the assembly manual, but as usual I would like to start with the plastic parts first, and then we will talk more about the other things which are included here. So just give me a second. It's a resealable plastic bag, so that's why it should be a rather quick procedure to open. Okay, I'll take out the plastic bag, and there is one more plastic bag with this clear sprue, so I will have to open it as well. In the meantime, I can also say that it's a question whether we will get the masking templates for these clear parts, because in some kits ICM includes them, in some kits they skip them, so it will be interesting to check in the assembly manual. But as you can see, the clear parts are quite nice, so here I don't have any complaints whatsoever. These parts look like real glass. So it's just a matter of installing them carefully and of course painting them properly. So that's why I'm saying that the masking templates are actually quite useful in case you would like to get a really nice finish. Then we continue with two identical plastic sprues. These are actually the first gray plastic frames. So just give me a second, maybe I'll adjust the mat as well. So here you can see these two sprues, and let's start with them. I will show you only one because they are absolutely the same. And what we have here are the top and bottom sections for the tank. We also have the jerry cans, and we have some parts for the storage boxes and mud guards. And if I zoom in closer and for example we check this corner, so as you can see the molding quality is really good. We have also some parts for the chassis, and if I flip it over, here inside we have the guiding elements, as you can notice. So it's not just a combination of two halves together, and it's good to see that designers actually thought through this moment, because some companies still manage to design such assemblies without any positioning or guiding elements, and then it's a bit of a nightmare to try to combine them together. Next we continue with the front cap parts. So here you can see the rear bulkhead. This is the roof molded together with the windscreen frame. We have separate doors here. This is the bonnet, I guess, which is molded as a single piece part. I'm just a bit surprised because I think the engine is also included here, so it's quite interesting. We also get the dashboard here, some of the interior parts. We have two types of the front guard. The steering wheel is there, and maybe I can zoom in so that you can take a closer look at the details on this roof and rear panels. Here is the steering wheel as well, and here is the dashboard. As I was saying, if I flip it over, do not worry about this plain door panels. As you can see, they will be actually added with the separate handles, and then you'll get a really nice result. Here we also have the floor panel. Of course, the pedals will be added separately, and here again you can take a look at the roof panel. So on the roof panel we have minor push marks, but I think those ones will not be visible on the finished model. In case you would like to hide them, then you just fill them in and send them up to the smooth surface. Next we continue with another plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to the large chassis bars, and so as you can see, these are quite long parts. Here is comparison with my hand. And for me, it's rather surprising, even though this is a 1/35 scale model, but it's a wheeled truck, so I was expecting a smaller size. So be ready for this. We also get some parts for the rear section, as you can see, various structure elements as well as the outer panels. So all these things will have to be combined together. And of course, with the chassis, you will have to be checking the overall alignment of the parts between each other, because it's quite easy to get a slightly swayed assembly, and then it will be really difficult to fix. Next, really good thing which is included here is the sprue with the plastic wheels. I mean, a lot of you are saying or wondering why the vinyl tires are not as, I would say, preferred by me as the plastic parts. Well, it's because the plastic parts are easier to assemble and paint, and they look somewhat more convincing in my appearance. And again, if you would like to have really proper appearance on your truck, you can find really nice replacements made out of 3D printing and resin. This is up to you, and this costs extra money, but what we get here is also quite a good thing. As you can see, the solution also includes the guiding elements for this double wheel setups on the rear wheel axle, and we also have the leaf springs for the suspension. And if I flip it over here, you can see that the wheel rim part is actually molded from both sides. It's only the tire walls which are molded separately, but still this is something what will allow you to paint those parts in a bit more precise way and avoid unnecessary masking on your model. Next we have another sprue with the chassis bars, but I guess these ones will not be used because they are for the classic truck version, let's say. Nevertheless, here you will need the engine parts. You will need also the drivetrain parts. Here you can see that it's molded as a single piece element, which is really cool because it shows what you can actually get with the modern technologies. I really like how this part is designed, so at least here you don't have to worry about any unnecessary gaps or unnecessary alignment problems. And overall molding quality is really nice. So for all of those gray parts, I don't have anything to say. As you can see, engine parts have the guiding elements with them, so it's also something what is not problematic so far. Next, as I said, we have the decals in the assembly manual. So for this, I will show them just like that. Maybe I will close the lenses, maybe again adjust the cutting mat. I think it's slightly misaligned. Nevertheless, here are the decals. As you can see, we have a lot of writings and stencils. This is something what is needed for the oil truck. And of course, we have the stars. So for the stars, as usual, I am saying that you can replicate them with the masks, but it's already your decision whether you would like to go that far, or you can just apply decals. And usually ICM decals are quite fun to work with, so I don't think it will be a huge issue. Next, we have assembly manual. So here I have to close the lenses even more, zoom out, and now you can see that here we have a really nice brochure with a short history note and technical specifications. Next, we continue with the parts map, and obviously the red color means that those parts will not be used. So as you can see, some of the bits will stay on the sprues, but nevertheless here, that's all. Okay, so we continue with, or we start with assembly of the main chassis. As you can see, it's a matter of combining the separate bars together. That's why I was saying that it's important to see how they are combined and aligned together. Then we continue with an engine. So engine is getting installed in the front, of course. Then you start working on this drivetrain, which was molded as a single piece part. And maybe it's worth also planning on how you will be painting all of this stuff, because later it will be really difficult to get, for example, to the suspension parts or even to the engine, of course. But I think engine is not possible to expose on this kit, so you have to think through if you would like to. Next page you can see the cab assembly. So there are plenty of things to do. Again, the same thing applies, that you have to think how to paint all of those parts. And as you can see, the engine bay is rather empty. I think on real truck it's a bit more detailed, so even though you get the engine, it will be more visible through the radiator grille than through the open bonnet, because here manufacturer just suggests to close the bonnet and that's all. Next you can see the fuel tank being assembled, or oil tank, and then we continue with the storage boxes, which are installed on both sides. We also have the railings, we have some pipings, and also the jerry cans, and then all of these things are getting installed on the rear section. More jerry cans going around the truck, and here you can see the first marking option, and actually the second is here. So as I was saying, for the green color, it's rather good to play with the color modulation. This is a really good base for such technique, so definitely try it out. And of course you can also add some weathering. And as for the kit, it should be already available. You can get it in Modelimex. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.